guys, this is going to be a quick intro to the project video. So this is a 1996 base model Mazda Miata. 51,000 miles on it, but it hasn't had the easiest life, and I definitely paid way too much for it. But this series is kind of going to be about bringing this back around and also, you know, modifying a little bit, that kind of thing. So yeah, 1996 base model, black, 5-speed, super base model. Doesn't even have air conditioning. It's got steelies. And obviously needs a new top. The paint is terrible. And it needs a ton of mechanical work, as you can guess. Let's go in the interior here. Interior is actually not the worst, other than the cracks on the dash. As you can see, the windshield is cracked as well. Got an aftermarket head unit, which I hate. We'll have to do something about that. Some of the wiring for the head unit is just hanging out back there. Maybe somebody had a sub or something at one point. There's the odometer right there. But yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the fact that it is a base model. You know, manual windows, manual mirrors. Makes things fun, makes things easy to work on. Let's pop the hood here too. Yeah, the paint is very bad. It's definitely leaking oil. I think it's the crank angle sensor or the valve cover gasket. Probably a little bit of both, but somebody painted under the hood here. I installed this aluminum radiator because the old one was not doing the best. Dang, this thing is hot down here. It's almost burning my hand just doing that. It's a chunk of rust. I don't know where that's from, but I definitely would like to know, because that's not good. But being an Arizona car, at least underneath, it is in pretty good shape, so we have that going for us. This thing needs a ton of work, lots of stuff to clean up, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys what we were starting with on this series. So there's that. Yet another thing I like to do is just get rid of the spare tire here, scissor jack, that kind of thing. Just ditch all that because it's not really the most useful, and it takes up a little bit of weight, especially for me. Like, I don't really drive this car too far from home, so you know, in the unfortunate event that I did get a flat, I would just park it somewhere and then go back out with you know, wheel and tire set, that kind of thing. So get rid of this. This just unclips, and then this guy will just twist off. Little jack there, and that guy twists off. Got to address this later, but not at the moment. So let's get going on this here. Like I said, just twist. All right, bam, bam. That'll save you a little bit of weight, a little bit of clutter. That back, and then now you've got some more open room here. I don't know who wired this head unit in, but this stuff is really annoying, so I've got to address that. But yeah, there's that. All right, so we're gonna try to disable the clutch switch here, and I kind of want to wire mine on a switch so it kind of acts like a kill switch for the car in case, you know, someone tried to steal it for some reason. Now, I was confused for a second because there are actually two switches down here. So there's that one that you can see right there, and I think that one is important to leave on because it tells the ECU kind of what you're doing with the clutch. And then the actual clutch switch we want to remove is gonna be the one back here. So this is the one we definitely don't want. So I'm gonna start unbolting it. There's two, feels like two 10mm bolts, and then we will go from there. Just trying to get you guys a better angle. There you go. So those yellow bolts, we'll start with those. All right, well, there was only one bolt on mine. I guess the other one is lost to time for all eternity. So what I'm gonna do now is just try to follow the wire that is connected to this little guy, and then unplug it from where it's at. So let me do that and I'll get back to you. All right, so it just unplugs right there. And then from there, we should just be able to yank on it a little bit. It should come out. There we go, cool. All right, so now that we have this out, my plan is to cut this and then just wire a switch to that, so that way it also acts like a kill switch. If you leave your car out overnight somewhere, whatever, that kind of thing, good way to prevent people from being able to start it. So we will do that and give it a try. All right, so a couple other things we can do in here to tidy up is, one, get rid of this nasty charcoal canister. Now this car is OBD2, so we've got some more stuff to think about. We'll get to that later. Another one I like to do is the windshield washer fluid tank there. I never use it. Sorry, I got stuff in my mouth for being under the car. I never use it. It adds extra weight and clutter. I'm gonna get rid of that thing. Another thing I like to do is, there's a ground wire right there. You can actually relocate that ground wire right here. Makes things a little neater, and then you also don't have, you know, a ground wire in not the best spot in my opinion. So we will also tackle that, and I'll show you guys how to do that. All right, so in order to do this, it's really simple. One bolt there, one bolt there. Unclip your line right there, and then I just unplug it right here. That way stuff's still intact if you decide to sell your car, or if you want to use your windshield washer fluid. Give it a nice pull. There we go. Now be careful when you're yanking this out, because it might spill. So let's see if I can do it. One hand here. And it's also connected to the electrical connector. Yes, of course. So we'll have to unplug that down there. All right, now I'm going to attempt to delete the charcoal canister. Now I don't have emissions where I live, but I obviously don't want to check engine light. So my plan is to just leave the solenoid as is. We'll get rid of the charcoal canister and we'll loop the lines together. So pull the canister out, unbolt this huge bracket and undo these lines, and then we'll loop them together. So I'll show you how that's done. All right, see, another good reason to remove this is potential for rust. So they must have painted part of the car and then put this back on, because this is unpainted. So definitely don't want that causing issues down there. All right, so basically what I did is I yanked the whole canister, vacuum cap on this port on the intake manifold there. Take this line, run it into this line, and then leave the solenoid plugged in. I think that should prevent the check engine light, but I'll let you guys know. Well, you guys know what time it is. Just got a sweet deal on this jack stand. I had sold my old one before I moved out of town. Getting rid of this trash, thankfully. We are putting on the 949s. It's gonna look much better. Got some lug nuts here, and things should be good. All right, so I just got these bad boys put on. It already looks so much better. The suspension hasn't settled yet. I haven't even driven it, but for stock height, this thing looks good already. Really changed up the whole look of the car in general, so those are awesome. I'm glad that they're, you know, a little bit of a lighter color than the car, so they don't blend at all. They pop just the right amount in my opinion. So these look great. Next thing we're gonna do is one of my buddies works at a body shop. He kind of knows what he's doing. We're gonna try to get rid of this and that, and then whatever we got going on right here. So see how that turns out. But hopefully things will look a little better. That's just grass. I mean, that's the only downside of having a black car, is it's not gonna look good, especially at this age, unless you really took care of it. And unfortunately, it wasn't up to me since I bought it used. So here she is. All right, quick little update on the Miata. So my buddy actually knows what he's doing with paint and stuff. He was able to come and buff the car a little bit. It's dirty right now, but the paint actually looks pretty good now. We didn't buff the whole thing, just certain areas. The new wheels are looking great. I got a single DIN head unit over there for 20 bucks to replace this guy. Other than that, the car has been doing great. Like I said, just waiting on some parts and some time to do some things. I ordered new subframe brace bolts because it was really hard to find them at the store. Nothing I found fit. So today I'm gonna try to get that little subframe on today. So we'll see how that goes. Alrighty, got those rear subframe bolted down, the subframe brace. I torqued the bolts to 55 foot-pounds. I'm not sure what the actual spec is. It was a little hard to find online. Should be a good starting point. If you have a base model where the brace connects right here, you'll have to there'll be right over there. You'll have these two rubber plugs you need to remove. But once you remove those, everything is good. The hole is already threaded, so nothing to worry about there, but it'll just be those rubber plugs. All right, so another quick thing I just did is, obviously my car's a base model, so it didn't come with scuff plates. But because the Miata is kind of low and weird to get into, you know, a lot of people will drag their feet along here. And if you have a base model like mine, you'll just have this piece, and then you can get this scuff plate from any other Miata, or there's a few aftermarket ones, but it just clamps down under here, and then it you know, protects your paint, protects your car. So definitely a good mod to have, and they're pretty cheap. Like, I think I paid 30 or 40 for the entire set, so well worth it if you ask me. But just one of those little things you can do to you know, it's, first of all, it's a nice touch because you're not looking at bare metal, and then second of all, it's it'll protect your paint. So definitely a good one to do.